Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I continue. It's just make it just so we can see my face better. Don't crash on me right now. Okay, everything should be working now. Perks on an old computer. I can't even. Okay, I can hear things now. Okay. Little hitch in the get along.
So this is the first of what could be multiple chats with people in the vinyl world. So to start it off, I'm having the YouTube channel GroovyLisa for the featured first chat.
Hello, everybody.
So for this, it's just going to be talking vinyl, talking music, or anything like that, but just keep it along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So to start it off, just get a background of how you got into vinyl.
And I found a bunch of records in the garage. So I went up to my dad, asked him, what are these things in the garage? He goes, oh, those are my records. So it was about 2003. I found these records. And that's how it just started. I mean, I didn't start buying records back then, but that's how I ended up with a record collection, was finding all of these records my dad had from the 70s, the 60s, and he just found a bunch there. I grabbed them, I put them in my room, and they were on my bookshelf for a long time. So yeah, my dad is how I started.
So the way that I started was there was always music playing in the house, but it wasn't until about 2012 my parents got me one of those all-in-one Crosley turntables that looks like it's from like the 40s.
I had a teal one.
And I believe
that was my first turntable.
So I believe the first record that I got was the Foo Fighters Wasting Light album. So that was definitely one that I played a lot. And I still have it in my collection here.
Awesome.
And I've been slowly buying records over the years.
It just takes one record.
Yeah.
One record, and then
So I did have so what is one thing that you enjoy about records?
I I don't enjoy it, but I do enjoy about records just looking at the record spinning on the turntable.
Yeah.
You know, you taking the
Yeah.
record out, you put it on the turntable, just seeing it spin on the turntable. I think that's a very fun experience
Yeah.
on a turntable. It's a whole different experience to say playing it on Spotify
Yeah.
or playing it on a CD. Yeah, I like the experience that you have.
Yeah. I would agree that it's just being able to pull the record out of the sleeve, put it on the table, play it. So one of the records that I have, it's the soundtrack for the game Last of Us.
Ah,
So
cool.
it has this splatter look to it. So it looks really cool spinning with the splatter colors.
Yeah. Splatter is amazing. I have
Yeah.
a team that is black and green. All the stars spinning around. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love color variants if I can get them.
Yeah. I still don't mind the standard black, but there's just something
Me too.
there's just something extra special about the color variants.
Yeah, I'm open to standard black. I'm open to color variant. So in the grand scheme of things, as long as I got the music I want on vinyl, it doesn't matter if it's color or black.
Yeah.
You know, just being able to play it is pretty awesome in itself. But color, look at on a turntable. I'm like,
So what is one band that has inspired you in your collection?
inspired me.
Well, not inspired, but
Oh,
one
sorry.
one that you would have fun listening to.
There's a lot of bands that I have fun listening to on my turntable. Recently, I was playing some Bruce Springsteen on my turntable, which is not really a band, but I like hearing Born Say the turntable. But as far as it goes, recently I played Bleachers. I don't know if you've heard of Bleachers, but
No.
Bleachers is Jack Antonoff, who is a member of Fun
Yeah.
and also a member of Steel Train. So I got his record in the mail and I was playing it, and it sounded so great.
Yeah.
Bleachers was a fun thing to play on a turntable recently.
So I would say one band or artist that I do enjoy listening to, I would probably say either James Taylor or it is actually through Matt over at Too Many Records. It's Fort Vine.
Cool, Fort Vine.
Yeah.
Funny you mentioned James Taylor. I have a James him.
So
So I got a question for you.
yeah.
What is one artist that no matter what they really have to have it in your collection? Like you have to be a completist
That
in there.
so the most albums that I have in my collection that relates to one band is actually right here.
Ooh,
Yeah.
awesome.
So it's for the it's the Canadian rock band Rush.
Oh, Rush, love
Yeah.
Rush.
The
I have
most
Flyby.
yeah. The recent album that I got from them is for their a concert that they recorded for both DVD and audio, and it's on vinyl that I got at Amoeba in Hollywood.
Great store.
So, what is your local record store that you mainly go to?
I like Amoeba. Amoeba's great, but I've been to a few other stores like Pooh in Pasadena.
Yeah,
That's a great
yeah,
store. Been to Record Parlor, which is down the street from the old Amoeba location.
yeah.
A little bit pricey. I went there for the free record show that they had, where you pay $20 and you can go and get 100 records for free. Also been to Diego. I went to Record City and I went to Folk Art Fine Rare Records, but the one I've been to the most is Amoeba
Yeah.
because it's near me and they have the greatest selection, I think, of all the record stores.
So I definitely have been. It's weird that I have only been to Amoeba twice, but even though it's just south of me, but my main go-to is a place called Voodoo Rhino, which is here in Newhall. So it's here in the Valencia area, and one of my favorite records stores to go to is it's Traffic Records in it's in Atascadero, California,
Cool.
and I got the Beatles White Album there.
Oh yeah, the Beatles White Album. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's a classic. Gotta have the Beatles. I
Yeah,
always tell people if you're gonna at least have a few collection.
yeah.
I don't actually have the White Album. I'm gonna have to fix that in the
Yeah.
near future.
But so what is your what was your setup like? Like your turntable speakers?
Whenever, as of now.
Yeah.
Oh, when I first started my setup, we're gonna go into it. My setup was the Crosley Cruiser. Okay, it's the one with the built-in speakers, comes in different colors, and you can carry it like a suitcase from room to room. So I bought before I decided it was time to upgrade. Great for what I did.
Yeah.
Which was, playing records here and there. So if you got a Crosley and it's what you have, you do what you have. Don't feel intimidated. Shell out big. Not everybody sticks with the hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was my first record player.
Yeah.
It served its purpose.
So I did start on one of those Crosley turntables with the built-in speakers, but then
Oh
eventually
yeah.
that the tone arm to that broke, and I and at the time I was looking at eventually to upgrade a turntable. So I eventually got to the turntable that I have now, which is the Audio Technica 120.
That's a great
Yeah,
turntable. I have the U-turn orbit
yeah.
turntable.
So then
Great
I,
one.
yeah, so then I eventually knew that I had to get speakers to go along with the turntable. So I just use so I actually just got these in that
What speakers are they?
they're
I can see
they're
them. Oh yeah, I know that
yeah,
brand.
yeah,
I hope I'm not pronounced great brand.
but
Those speakers will last you a while.
yeah, these ones are from the 70s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I came across some 70 speakers one time at a thrift store and they were damaged. They were nice. They look like those.
but so
So how many records do you currently own in your collection?
I would
Just a rough estimate.
I'm guessing about I'm somewhere between 50 and 75. That's
Oh,
like a
you're a newbie. You're a newbie. You're a
well,
newbie to recording.
but like these records have like slowly been building up.
Yeah, I feel you. I've been collecting for 7 years and I have about 400 and something, but it's over a 7 year period.
Yeah,
It wasn't like I just got 400 overnight.
yeah,
It took me 7 years to
yeah.
get to where I am.
But
Yeah, one
but,
record is all you need to start a collection.
but but these have been building up for the maybe like 3 or 4 years.
Cool. Cool.
So I definitely have been
Your record collection.
yeah. So I definitely have been bitten by the vinyl bug.
We all have been
Yeah,
bitten by a vinyl bug. And I always say it doesn't matter how big or small your collection is, you are part of the vinyl community.
yeah,
Stress to people. You don't have to worry about having a big collection. You do it at your own pace.
yeah,
Vinyl is expensive.
yeah. But
It is.
I would say just one thing about collecting vinyl.
Especially newer stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just say one thing about collecting vinyl, no matter where you're at, just have fun.
Yeah. Just have fun with the hobby. Don't worry too much about you know, trying to it's your collection. So
Yeah.
collect because it's your collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely for me personally, just there's definitely the records to have in your collection. Like Pink Floyd's
Of course.
like Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin or the Beatles.
Yeah, I gotta have some Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
You gotta have, I believe you gotta have some Beatles, Zeppelin, especially, for House of Holies.
Yeah.
There's essential albums to have. You should add to your collection. And then there's always artists that, get recommended by me that I end up adding to my collection. Like a lot of people in the BC have recommended so many good artists to me.
Yeah.
that I end up adding into my collection. So it's always good to have friends recommend you albums because you might end up loving them too.
Yeah.
I always take it seriously.
It's also one thing I do like about crate digging at record stores is you never know what you can find.
Exactly. Like one time I went crate digging and I found an original pressing of Buffalo Springfield for like $18. And I consider that one of my best finds.
Yeah.
So you just never know what you're going to find. Crate digging also found interesting stuff. Like I one time found a library copy of a Psych album from the Library of Texas, I believe. Yeah, a Psych album that's out of print, that no longer is in existence. Depot Chase, but yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You never know what you're gonna find in the crates. Tell people crate dig.
It's this record shop down in Long Beach. And
I've never been to that one.
but it's the record in Long Beach is called Dex Records. But I was just going through the crate and
Is that a record store you went a lot?
I haven't, I've only been there once. But while I was there, I was just going through the crate and I found it's a artist, it's like a French artist that does like this ambient music. It's the album is Oxygen. It's Jean-Pierre.
That's a fact.
But it definitely is a nice record to listen to when you're trying to relax.
Yeah, fantastic record.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Always good when you find, I haven't bought that particular album, but if you can find a clean copy of that album for use, I tell you, pick it up. Don't think about it, just pick it up. That's one of those albums you don't think about it. You just pick it.
Yeah.
You'll thank me.
But it always is fun to find new things.
It is. It definitely is. I recently got into an artist that a lot of people were talking about called Phoebe Bridgers. I think that's her name. Phoebe Bridgers. She's an artist that I recently discovered within the last 2 months. She has an album called Punch. And I dig her sound. So she was an artist I discovered through TikTok, believe it or not. There's a TikTok vinyl community. And they were just talking about her so much. So I went to listen to her and I liked her. And I found out, I believe she is on Paul McCartney's Reimagine album. Like Paul McCartney has her doing songs on his Paul McCartney 3. I forgot the name of the album. Excuse me. But yeah, Phoebe Bridgers.
But it's weird on how there's this one band that I found out through an Instagram ad. It's a band called Fever Dolls. And they do a lot of, it's like an indie pop acoustic. And they're definitely one artist that I do listen to.
I'll have to definitely check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook ads are a great way to find musicians. Like one time I found out about this musician called Marlon Williams through a Facebook ad. They had like a link to his video. And I ended up falling in love with his music that I bought his vinyl at Amoeba. Probably about, I want to say 3 or 4 ago. If you like bluegrass kind of folk music, he kind of sounds like Elvis. New Zealand Elvis.
Yeah.
But yeah, Facebook, YouTube, they're great for finding new artists. because you get your recommendations and stuff. I would definitely recommend.
So one of my favorite records to listen to, no matter the format, that I just got on vinyl, it's Robert Plant's and Alison Krauss. They did a album together called Raising Sand. And
Yes, I remember
yeah.
remember that album.
Yeah.
It's a great album.
Yeah. People expected Robert Plant to do something Zeppelin-like, but he said no, just might as well do something different.
Yeah, because Alison Krauss is a bluegrass through and through and country music. And it was interesting when I heard this album because Robert Plant, he's always known for doing hard rock and doing blues kind of type music and just rock in general. And then you see him doing this kind of I want to say more than once.
Yeah.
But it's an album that will grow on you.
Yeah.
It's a great album and well deserved of the Grammy.
It's the final track on that album.
She's fantastic.
Yeah. So it's the final track on the Raising Sand album. It definitely reminds me of a song that Alison Krauss did for the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Bandwidth is low. So now you're a smaller picture. I'm just telling you that. Yeah. Our connections are both sucking, by the way. But we're gonna pull through this.
Yeah.
We might have to, do a clickbait title.
Yeah.
Interview with spotty internet connection.
So is there any questions that you wanted to ask?
I'll come up with, let's see. What is your most expensive purchase in your record collection that you've bought? Like, what's the most expensive album you own or paid the most for?
Yeah.
Like, whether it be at a record store or Discogs or eBay.
The most I've ever spent.
Yeah, for one record.
It would be it's actually it was part of like a 3-part record collection, but it was for the Lord of the Rings soundtrack that they finally put onto vinyl.
Yeah.
And I paid about like $150.
Yeah, my most expensive is the box set from the Monkees. I paid $135. It's a record store day edition of all of their albums in different colors. So yeah, $35 most I've spent for anything record wise.
But I'm actually glad that I got mine when I did, because for the first Lord of the Rings movie, it was originally like $150, but it's now like
going for crazy amounts now.
Yeah. It's going for like, I think I last saw it for like $1,500.
Yeah, because I was looking at it on Discogs one time, and that record, everybody wants it. So you got a record that everybody wants.
Yeah.
It's like that. Speaking of records, like that DG's record. You heard the DG's?
Yeah.
That RSD record?
Yeah.
It's going for $500 on eBay.
Yeah.
The Foo Fighters Bee Gees record. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I think that a Foo Fighters Bee Gees record would go for it. One of my friends got it, and I told him to treasure that record. Yeah. Everybody and their grandma wants that record. Yeah. I love Lord of the Rings. I'm surprised I didn't pick up that record. I'm
Yeah.
kind of bummed that I didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Speaking of random records, I got this from records. I went to they were giving out records for free. So
Yeah.
like, hey, you want my record? I was like, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
So they were just giving out free records to everybody. So now I got a record from some guy called Neon Moms. I think that's their name.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is one record you would love to add to your collection, but you don't have in your collection because of the price? And you're hoping that they read.
It would be it's actually for this band Rush. It's for their Snakes and Arrows album. It's going either on Amazon or Discogs for like $300. But I think they only made like 1,500 of them. But it's hard for me to spend $300 on just one record.
Understand.
Yeah.
There's some records that I want that are going for around that much.
Yeah.
Like there are some Linkin Park records
Yeah.
that are going for that much. And I'm like, no, I can't see myself dropping that crazy amount of money for a record that I really want. And plus there's also another one that I really want is Travis with the Invisible Band.
Yeah.
That record not on vinyl and hasn't been on vinyl for a while. So I'm hoping one day that maybe Travis will do a reissue because the prices for it is ridiculous on Discogs.
I definitely do have my limits.
Of course, I do too. I think for me, like I can't see myself spending more than maybe 60 or for one record.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I shouldn't be playing this $100 record. It's worth too much.
Yeah.
And then it's probably just gonna sit on my shelf because I'm afraid of playing $100 record. So
Yeah. I definitely know how that feels because especially those Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That music definitely so much of my childhood. So I definitely do cherish them.
Yeah. There's always like artists from your childhood that you are going to cherish when you get it on vinyl.
Yeah.
When you know, like the Monkees for me, the Monkees were a band I started listening to when I was in middle school, the Beatles. Those kind of bands just never grow old.
Yeah.
As you get older, grow with you. Like 50s, 70s, you're gonna still be listening to the Beatles. They just they'll never get old. They'll never get old, you know. And Lord of the Rings, I love Lord of the Rings. I remember the first time I read that book. It was wow. It took me like literally 3 to 4 months to read a 1,100-page book because it had the whole entire book in one.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a book I only read. I might have to revisit.
Yeah.
And I've seen the movies. I forgot how many times I've seen the movies, but the soundtrack for each of the movies are beautiful on its own. It's worth having.
Yeah.
It's worth definitely having. Next time they reissue it, I'm on it. What is your favorite color pressing that you own of all the color pressings you own? What would you say favorite on the turntable?
I would say one of my favorites would be it's a pressing by My Morning Jacket. It's their Chocolate and Ice album.
Great band. Great band. Jim Jones. There's so many pressings in my collection, but I definitely say that the splatter ones
Yeah.
are really pretty to play. I really like the splatter one that I have with Blink-182's Greatest Hits,
Yeah.
because it's a Hot Topic exclusive. And I don't know if Hot Topic is still doing vinyl variants,
Yeah.
but that one's really pretty to play on the turntable. It's a gray and Blink-182 band that's from my childhood.
Yeah.
It's a band that I grew up with, and I've been a fan for like 20 plus years. So I was really happy to have that in my collection for sure.
So this my morning jacket pressing, it's a clear pressing with a orange, black and white splatter.
That's cool. I love the splatter variants. I had to get if a splatter variant, have to own it because they're so pretty, or the starburst.
Yeah.
Also, another pretty variant is the one done by this band called May. You've heard of May?
No.
Okay, I'm getting used to this. You can always edit things out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could always edit it with your. I'm sorry, kind of went crazy. So some of these things that you recorded, if my computer stopped a bit, it's because my computer's old, and I'm not gonna spend $1,000 to replace it right now. Not in the budget. Yeah. So why did you decide to start a YouTube channel? Like, who was the main factor for you starting a YouTube channel in the vinyl community?
It was actually just since I was home so much, just to keep myself busy and have fun.
I think that's what a lot of people will probably say. For me, it was one day I came across channels. I came across Mr. Mean Mayo, Too Many Records, and I was watching also I think Norman Maslow. You've heard of him. And I was watching Too Many Records channel, and I see this young guy talking about records. And I was like, he's around the same age as me. I'm a little older than him. And I thought, hey, I could do this. I think it's just fun to share your love from what you have added to your collection. Yeah, you were bored in quarantine, right? You're like, I'm in quarantine. I want to have something fun to do. Why not start a YouTube channel? I think a lot of people in quarantine probably did
that. And also, besides being bored, just to talk about music, because it's something I enjoy.
That makes perfect sense. If you enjoy something, you want to share the passion with others. So what albums have you pre-ordered?
So I actually just recently, well, maybe about 2 weeks ago, I pre-ordered Switchfoot's new album. And it definitely has like an old school Switchfoot feel to it, like from the stuff that they released back in like the mid-90s.
Yeah, 90s great.
Yeah. So it kind of has that feel. So is there any records that you've pre-ordered?
Oh, I've actually only I think pre-ordered one record. Let me think back. Yeah, I pre-ordered one record.
Yeah.
As far as I know right now. all the other stuff I pre-ordered are nerdy things, and we're not going to get into the nerdy things. But I pre-ordered Tron.
Yeah.
The soundtrack for Tron by Daft Punk, because that record hard to find. So when Target, they were doing, Tron, I just had to jump on it. So I pre-ordered it. It's coming out in December. So I'm really excited about that. Finally, I can have that in my collection. There are a few other artists I'm thinking of pre-ordering, like the new Coldplay album.
Yeah.
I saw the mock-up for that, and that looks really nice. And of course, I do want to get the Almost Famous soundtrack as well. Yeah, because I eventually want to get that. I'm thinking of pre-ordering 12 Memories by Travis, because that's an artist that I had an album of on CD a very long time ago, and they're reissuing it. I just don't know which pressing I want to get, because there's so, how when you're ordering a record, there's so many different pressings. Like Newberry Comics has a black ice version. Their web store has a white version. Amazon has black. You're like, do I pre-order?
So when
That's always,
So when I pre-ordered that Switchfoot album, it was the same. That they have a red version, black version, a Coke bottle version, and I think maybe like an orange version. So it was definitely hard to choose.
Yeah, it's to decide which one you want to choose.
Yeah.
I remember Switchfoot. I remember the first time I listened to Switchfoot, and it was their album Meant to Live.
Yeah.
And that was, I think you're talking about Switchfoot, right? Yeah. And Meant to Live was the first album I bought from a Christian artist.
Yeah.
And I bought that album in the early, and I love the heck out of it. I don't even know if that album's on vinyl. Maybe I should message John Foreman and be like, can you put Meant to Live on vinyl?
Yeah. I want to say that they did, but I can't say for certain.
Yeah, because I've checked. There's that's an album I would love to have on vinyl. It's a beautiful album.
Yeah.
I'll have to message John Foreman one day on Instagram. Can I make a request? I think it would look good on a clear blue vinyl.
Yeah.
Like just a clear blue color for Meant to Live with some brown splatters.
Yeah.
Just because the album is blue and brown, and I think that'd look great. Yeah. Do you collect CDs as well? Is there any other formats you collect besides records?
I definitely do have CDs, but vinyl is my main area that I collect.
Yeah, same here. Same here. Vinyl is also my main thing that I collect, but I was born in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I was a 90s kid, so I grew up with CDs. So CDs are what I started first collecting, but vinyl is actually a thing that took over my room.
Yeah.
I have vinyl and CDs, definitely. But I also started collecting cassettes, which is kind of interesting. I started collecting cassettes last year. It just started with one cassette, and now I have three cassettes.
So I do have.
Yeah, they're fun to collect. I don't play them too often.
Yeah. I do have cassettes, but I don't have a cassette player. So it is hard to play my.
I just got this really dirt cheap. Yeah, I got a really dirt cheap cassette player. It was one of those ones they sold on Amazon. It was like a combination CD cassette player from Sony.
Yeah.
I think I paid like 20 something for it. And it works. That's what I have. You don't need to buy like an expensive cassette player. These when I was a little kid, I had so this Walkman, I used to use this Walkman all the time, and one day it broke, and I was in tears. I was like 12, and that Walkman broke. And I was like, can we get it fixed? And my dad was like, no, you're going to have to buy a new cassette player. But that was my cassette player for a while, that Walkman. I'd love to own that Walkman again.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going on eBay because he doesn't make them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you collect any picture discs?
I don't have any, but
Because I've noticed that a lot of RSD releases are picture discs.
Yeah.
Like The Cure has been doing a lot of picture discs for RSD. And have actually improved within the last 5 years. They actually don't sound as bad as people make them out to be.
Yeah.
People like to say that picture discs aren't that great, but they're great.
I
Yeah.
At my local record store, they did have a picture disc of from a movie that was like a animated movie from the 70s, but I didn't seem that interested in it.
Yeah, I have a really expensive picture disc in my collection. I'm going to show you my most expensive picture disc. This might be interesting, but this is my most expensive picture disc that I own, and it goes for like $400. I have the 20, it's the LC, and it's in the shape of their hometown of Ohio. That's the most expensive. I don't know if this is even considered a picture disc, but yeah, the most expensive thing I own. I paid a lot for it on eBay at the time because I saw it and a guy was selling for $50, bet the $50. So yeah, most expensive 45, 10-inch disc that I own. No regrets.
Yeah.
Because it's going for almost 500 now on eBay. So I have no regrets about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never played it because of the fact that I spent so much money on it that I am so afraid of putting it on my turntable. And what if I break the record? That's why. It's the only record I've never. Let's see. Do you have any signed vinyl? Because I know that artists do like to do signed vinyl from time to time.
I don't, but I do have a signed CD from a Switchfoot.
Cool. Or do you like to wait after shows and try to get your vinyl signed? I used to do that back in the day. Used to wait after shows.
Yeah.
So to try to get my record signed, and I was successful 2 times.
So Switchfoot has a event that they do every summer down in San Diego, and I was thinking of bringing one of my records I have from their library down to the event, but I just didn't. I just didn't feel proper in bringing that.
Yeah. I feel there's been some crazy times when I wanted to get a vinyl signed. So I found this band at a Mexican restaurant. I asked them to sign my vinyl and I left. Yeah, that's a true story. Me and my boyfriend were going to see this band called The Foils, and I really wanted to meet them. So I was walking around. I see them going to a restaurant, and I'm out the vinyl sleeve, and I rush in and I get him to sign the vinyl. I mean vinyl. I don't want to
Yeah.
say vinyls because the
Yeah.
the record snobs might come after
Yes.
me. So how long have you been a Switchfoot fan?
Since their Oh Gravity album, which was released in 06.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been a fan since I live.
Yeah.
I think that was one of their first albums. That's the first time I listened to Switchfoot. And yeah, it's, they're really good at what they do.
Yeah.
I would love to see them one of these days.
Yeah.
I know they're from here. I think they're local to California. So be cool.
I think they're from San Diego.
Yeah, they're local. They're local. San Diego is kind of near to LA.
Yeah.
About 2 hours. Yeah, I'm looking at my CDs. I have a signed CD from Walk the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That because Newberry Comics does signed CDs too.
Yeah.
On their website. So for a bit, I was buying signed Newberry Comics. I haven't recently bought any signed albums because I've been kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
Because some of the artists who buy a signed album and they won't even sign it fully. And she just signed it with L.
Yeah.
She didn't even sign her full name. She just put L.
I know. Yeah. I know Matt from Too Many Records talked about that on how he has one record where it's just like it was a video of whoever artist it was doing like a big area of where they signed it, but he just got like a little tiny on the inner sleeve.
Totally. Some artists, they just get lazy and because
they
probably get lazy after a while because they're signing thousands and thousands. But Lady Gaga, more than just an L on all the albums. It's not even hard to just write Lady.
Yeah.
You don't have to be, but I love her music.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite album of all time? What is the album, your go-to album that you always that one has no skips? You can listen to it from front to back. You have an album like that?
Yeah.
I think we all have a go-to album.
Yeah.
The one that we, show to our friends and be like, hey, Mike here, I want you to play this album. That's because it's kind of like a tough question.
Yeah.
When I think about it, it is a tough question. I would say the Strokes' first album is a very, very good album that I would recommend to people because that album has no skips.
Yeah.
I would say some of the early Beatles albums.
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
Because there's so many albums that we play. But of course, there's like quintessential albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say for at least one option would probably be I would say probably the Beatles' White Album.
That's a great album.
Yeah.
That's like one of those top tier albums. I love White Album. Abbey Road is great.
Yeah.
Magical Mystery Tour. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Beatles. You can't.
Yeah.
I always tell people you can't go wrong with the Beatles. The other day I was and this girl was like, the Beatles albums are $60 to $70. And I'm like, no, there's a thing called reissues.
Yeah.
You can buy a Beatles album for $25. I don't know where she's getting the idea that Beatles albums are 70. Maybe for originals.
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah. Would you ever buy a Butcher album if it ever came into your possession?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It's one of my friends bought one for like $200. He bought a third state, but I don't know. So how's the weather been where you are? It's been hot here.
Yeah.
Has it been like an oven where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an oven here too. Yeah. Yeah. Do you collect 45s?
I do have
Is that a format you see yourself?
I actually do have 10 of 45s that I actually got from my dad. But the 45s that I have, I don't listen to them that much.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I have like a couple 10-inch records, and I don't really listen to my 10-inch much. And then I 78 that I can't play originally because my U-turn orbit doesn't have option.
Yeah.
But I love my 45s.
Yeah.
I have an embarrassing amount of 45s. I have like close to 145 crazy. I don't remember the last time. And then I got my pile stuff I need to give away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you see yourself in the near future, having a huge collection or a small collection? What's the end goal? Like, what's your max of records that you will own for your collection?
Yeah.
Like, once you reach that number, I'm curious to.
Yeah. I
think a record considered their perfect amount.
Yeah. I think the max number I would have would be about 300.
I'd say that's a good amount.
Yeah.
But I've already gone past that.
Yeah.
I would say I think the max for me personally would be 1,000.
Yeah.
I think anything above you crazy.
Yeah.
Do you collect records or do you just collect music?
I think it's more for the music itself.
That's cool. Just thinking about that because I realized I have some George Carlin comedy records. And I was just curious if you just collect music or.
Yeah.
Whew. I'm like trying not to get nervous here.
Yeah.
My anxiety sometimes gets the best of me because I don't do too many interviews.
Yeah. I just wanted this to be more of like a casual.
Yeah, because like when I did an interview the last time with someone, it was like they posted on their page.
Yeah.
And it was really formal, and
yeah,
I screwed up at the beginning of it. I screwed up, but let's see what's what is what are stores to shop at? Like, what's the record stores that you recommend? If I was to come to your area.
But the one that I go to is Voodoo Vinyl, which is in downtown Newhall.
Cool. I think I have a friend who lives in that area.
Yeah.
So I get out to New. I would definitely
Yeah.
go to check it out.
Yeah.
Because I have a list of stores that I want to
Yeah.
go to when I go to Northern California.
Yeah.
I definitely want to go to the Amoeba in Berkeley.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Amoeba in San Francisco. I want to go to Rasputin.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like a few of the stores that definitely want to hit up in Northern California. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, it's like sweaty here. I was gonna almost play my records today, and I was like, it's too hot
Yeah.
to even think about putting on my records. So I was just streaming on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I have Spotify, so it's like I'll play some stuff there. This is so random, but you know what's stuck in my head?
Yeah.
The most random song stuck in my head is the Jeffrey Bezos, Bo Burnham, who's actually a comedian who does music on the side. So it's been stuck in my head all day. It's so random. Like, of all the songs in the world, I got a song about the Amazon CEO stuck in my head. I mean, he's getting a lot of money off of me.
Yeah.
That CEO.
But so it was yesterday.
Yes.
I passed by this restaurant, and I hear this music that was doing. There was no vocals, but the guitar was doing the vocals, and it was the Beatles, Penny Lane.
Cool. It's a great
Yeah.
song. Speaking of Penny Lane, my favorite carpool karaoke of all time is Paul McCartney's Carpool Karaoke.
Yeah.
When they go back to Penny Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love it. Penny Lane's beautiful. It's that's my favorite. If anybody watching this ever goes on the YouTube, look up Paul McCartney Carpool Karaoke. My favorite by far of all of them that he's done. All the ones that did.
Yeah.
It's so cool when you look into Paul McCartney's life and you get to see Paul McCartney as he's growing up. He shows the church where he was born, where he went when he was young. Then he shows Penny Lane, which Penny Lane's an area that he, I guess, grew up in.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting. And then he shows his childhood house.
Yeah.
Where he wrote the first Beatles song, Love, Love, Love. His dad told him, I don't think you should have that lyric for the song. And he didn't listen to his dad. Good thing. Yeah. Have you seen the Beatles, not the Beatles, the Paul McCartney 6-part documentary that they have on Hulu? I've been curious about seeing that.
No.
Perfect. And also there's that movie that's directed by Peter Jackson, the Get Back movie, which is going to be released on Disney Plus, which I'm kind of confused why it's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
But no, I was interested. I don't know. I might buy Hulu just to watch it, and then, or I'll get a free trial of Hulu. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I always find an email and try. Yeah. So what are your favorite female artists?
One of them I actually do have on vinyl. It's an artist by the name of Lapsley.
Cool.
And I found her music.
There's a lot there.
And I
Of the
found
old
it,
school.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I found her record just while crate digging.
Cool. There's a lot of good artists out there. I love Nina Simone.
Yeah.
What a beautiful voice. Aretha Franklin. In terms of modern artists, I really love Adele's voice.
Yeah.
I went to see Adele in 2006 place. Live, for the most part, Adele just talks a lot during her sets, which was pretty noticeable, but great voice.
Yeah.
Who else is Lauren Hill? Lauren, yeah. There's so many great female artists. Lee of Karungbin.
Yeah.
So those are just,
So I think that definitely covers what the first episode will be.
I don't know what happened.
I think
Okay, I don't know what here just was just like I am gonna shut down this stream. And it did, and it came back. You understand because your computer is kind of dodgy like mine. So
yeah.
we're I'm keeping this computer.
But what I was about to say right before,
My computer went
Yeah.
crash.
but I think that definitely covers this whole series, just talking music and stuff like that.
Could you work computer?
So I think that covers the this whole thing.
Yeah, it was fun. I
Yeah.
must admit I was a little nervous
Yeah.
because I was like thinking inside my head to say. Now I think both of us being nervous made the interview great
Yeah.
because I think you could relate to having anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
both our computers were crashing,
Yeah.
so we're a match made in heaven. Yeah. I mean, we're never mind. Why am I asking that? Amoeba sometimes.
Yeah.
I see you while you're in photography. You have way.
Yeah.
And I was looking through looking at photography, especially seeing photography from my area
Yeah.
through someone else's eyes is really cool. How long have you been before?
It's actually something new for maybe about like almost 3 years.
Cool. That is cool. I like looking at different photographers and how they interpret things. And I love black and white photos.
So I think that concludes the first episode.
I'm Lisa. I live in Los Angeles. I have a channel called GroovyLisa. If you are into all kinds of music and seeing all kinds of music, please do channel this video and Mike's channel so you guys can all go and subscribe to him. Let's get him to 100. Let's get him to 100, guys. You're welcome.
As I talk to you soon.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
We'll
yeah,
have to.
yeah.
We'll have to do somewhere we.
Yeah.
It's more about music.
Yeah.
You're a dude.
Bye.